open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldogs page brought to you by Kaufman and Lynn Entry Attorneys. How did that taste, LSU?
Ooh, you want to lead with LSU in Iowa? Yeah, Caitlin Clark put up another sensational game last night. She carries Iowa to its second straight Final Four, scored 41 points, had 12 assists. Iowa knocks out defending national champ LSU 94-87 last night. Wow. So in the other Elite Eight game, by the way, UConn, led by Paige Becker, she had 28 points. UConn defeated top seeded USC and their fab freshman Juju Watkins 80-73. But I'll tell you what, Caitlin Clark and Iowa. We've got the Final Four sets. So you've got Caitlin Clark and Iowa against storied UConn. That's a Friday night game. To me, that's the most attractive game of any of the Final Four games, men or women.
Wow. That's a strong phrase.
Hey, I got to tell you, Caitlin Clark is a show. She is fun to watch. Obviously, we know she's broke all the records in women's and men's basketball, all the scoring records this year. And UConn is UConn. I mean, good Lord, how many Final Fours have they been to? 23, I think, actually.
Hey,
23.
Is there any update on Caitlin and that $5 million offer, if she could still play the WNBA, or any update?
She could actually do both. But I don't think she's going to. Like, you read stories and her handlers or her agents are very careful about her image, so I don't think they're going to do that.
She flat out said over the weekend when they asked her about it, she goes, "I have people who are handling that stuff."
Good.
Right.
So she's not even getting in the mix.
Plus, and again, she could make $5 million, but she's going to make so much money on endorsements. She already is. I mean, she's already probably making $5 million in endorsements at Iowa. In fact, there was a thought, because she could have come back for one more year at Iowa because of everybody had the extra COVID year from way back. She could have come back, and some people speculated she could probably make more in endorsements at Iowa than she would make at the WNBA, but those endorsements are going to carry over to the WNBA. So,
wouldn't it be nice to have people that handled your stuff? Dog, do you have people?
I'm not gonna go there. Huh?
Hey, Magic eke one out last night, doggy.
Yeah, and it was a victory, but not exactly the type of victory that instills confidence. The Magic did hand the pathetic Portland Trail Blazers their 10th straight loss, but they blew a double-digit fourth quarter lead. Portland had every chance to win the game. It came down to one last shot for Portland, and it was a good shot, too. DeAndre Ayton just missed an open baseline jumper at the buzzer. The Magic end up winning the game 104-103. Again, it was a win on paper, kept the Magic fifth in the East, a half game behind the Knicks, 1.5 games ahead of Indiana, 2.5 games ahead of Miami. The Franz, by the way, he scores 20 points. Wendell Carter Jr. had 17 points, 13 rebounds. I do have a Bulldog bite about this. You guys want my Bulldog bite?
Wow. Why not?
We haven't had one in over a week.
First dog bite of the
Portland
week.
is clearly tanking. They were missing multiple starters last night because of injury. You've heard of a moral victory? Well, barely beating the tanking Blazers last night at home, that will go down as a moral defeat in the Bulldogs book.
Wow.
How about that?
Yeah, that's
moral
strong
defeat.
words there from the dog.
Yeah. Hey, I'm the only media guy in town who's holding this team accountable, because I know they can be better than they were last night. And we need to hold them accountable going into the playoffs.
It's because the dog has their best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't just need their coaches pushing them. They need the fans and the media pushing them as well. Riley Kugel, remember that name? I told you last week he was transferring from the University of Florida, former Dr. Phillips High School star right here in Orlando. Well, he found a nice landing place. He transferred from Florida to Kansas So he ends up at Kansas. He had a bunch of suitors, by the way. Houston, Yukon, Arizona, Kansas. Those were some of the people who were trying to lure him into their programs, and he chose Kansas. Riley Kugel was a really good player at Florida 2 years ago, and then for whatever reason, the bottom sort of dropped out this past season. He had some issues. Now he's going to Kansas. I think the guy's going to resurrect his career at Kansas. Sad news in sports. Former Miami Dolphins cornerback Vontae Davis was found Davis was found dead Monday at his residence in South Florida. He was 35 years old.
Same neighborhood that Tyreek Hill lived, West Ranches.
Oh, is that right? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Police said a preliminary investigation suggests that foul play was not involved, and sad news. Vontae, I mean, he was a first-round draft pick for the Dolphins back in 2009.
He was great, dude.
Well,
That's
unfortunately,
crazy.
he's going to be, his legacy is when he quit during halftime when he was with the Bills against the Chargers. He quit.
2018. He leaves the team at halftime, put out a statement after the game saying he didn't want to continue his career, but everybody was like, you couldn't have waited until
after the game.
Good Lord.
At least he didn't take off his shirt in the middle of the game like that one Dolphin did.
No, that was the Bucks. That was
silly me.
And who was the
It was the dude that was living with
Antonio
Brown.
Yeah,
yes.
I was having remember he just took his shirt off, walked off the field,
looking for some mover to beat up.
Right. So,
Lightning costly loss last night as they fall to the Red Wings 4-2. Doggy, as every game matters in the final stretch there in the NHL season as much as it does in the NBA. Tight, Doggy.
It all matters.
By the way, remember where you heard it first. I don't think Shohei Ohtani's going to last the season in Major League Baseball. There are rumblings baseball may be doing something soon with Shohei Ohtani.
Wow.
All right.
Just saying.
All right, Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic, weekday mornings on Adjacent to Us. You'll find him on both AM 740 The Game and FM 96.9 The Game. And he takes time out of that busy show to join us here for a few minutes for the sports page brought to you by Kaufman and Lind.
That's right. Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday, 7:30 a.m., FM 96.9 The Game. Catch extended versions of Under Oath by searching for Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform. Oh!
Linton Taco. On demand. Download the iHeartRadio app.
From the bogus